Hello everyone, welcome back. Can you believe it's been a year? Because I can't. I was looking at my channel and like going back to see when I had posted this video originally. I am like perfectly a year out for posting this again. And I also couldn't believe, I was like, I've posted 55 videos? I cannot believe I have yapped for 55 videos. That's crazy. Anyway, welcome back to the Loona collection video that I guess is going to be a yearly thing now. This is like the most viewed video on my channel, so I wouldn't be surprised if you've seen this before. But if you haven't and you're new here, hi, I'm Rebecca. I collect OT12 Loona among some other groups, but like OT12 Loona is the main collection we do here. So I have a lot of stuff. So we're gonna go through all of that today. I have no idea, as I'm at the beginning of filming this, what the runtime of this is going to be, but we have had a ton of Loona stuff this year. So there's a lot more than I had last year at this time. I think I was missing 2 whole eras of Loossemble, bunch of ARTMS. I don't even remember if I had Yves in a binder at this point last year, so yeah, there's a lot more stuff than there was last year. One of these years I'm gonna have to remember to like ask for a Q&A before I film this video, so I can be like, hey, what questions do you have? What do you want me to answer about this? Since I didn't do that, I'm just gonna try to answer a bunch of questions as I go, and hopefully I cover the stuff that you want to know. For Loona era, Loona, OT12, BBC era Loona, I keep everything in these Voltax binders, the 12 pocket ones. And there are 5 of those, and I know I didn't have 5 as of last year, so there's already at least 1 more of these. Everything for the Loona era stuff I keep chronologically. Once we get to post-Loona, everything is a little more of a mess as far as the organization goes, but we're working on it. They don't stop releasing stuff, so we're working on it. As more stuff comes out, we'll get there one day, it'll look prettier. But at least for the Loona era photo cards, everything is nicely in these 12 pocket binders. So for the sake of not making this video even longer than it needs to be, I'm just gonna start flipping through stuff. I'll tell you about some of the stuff along the way. If you do have any questions about anything that's in my collection or anything at all regarding my collection, please feel free to ask in the comments below. Hopefully I cover at least some of people's questions. So we start with pre-debut and all of their solo stuff. This is the unit albums, and then Kimlip and Yves just have their second version of the album. I do think one day it would be cool for this second set of them to be the stamped ones, but that's a future goal. Any broadcast cards you see are replicas for right now. Would I like to get them one day? Yes. Are they real right now? No. So these are all the subunit ones. This was a really exciting card that I got this year. This is Kimlip's limited mix and match card. And then I also got Chuu and Chuu for the limited YYYY cards. I really should have, before I filmed this video, slight spoilers for something I'm working on this page, but I really should have gone through and like actually watched my previous video, because I know I've gotten some things. I think I've gotten a couple of the meet and up sets. I know the butterfly cards are new because I didn't have any of those last year. And then I have Cherry for this set. But I'm not going to be able to remember everything that's different and everything I got this year. But hopefully I'll be able to at least touch on most of it. This is the set I'd love to finish, but people really overprice, especially Yves. But I only have 3 of them left, so it feels like a set that I should like prioritize finishing. So this binder splits the summer package stuff. The stickers had to be in the one before it, but I wanted it to start with a photo card set as opposed to the sticker set. I wish it could have had Hassel in it, but that's just not how the cards fell. I've gotten a few more of these hollows this year. And then the big thing I've been working on this year is a lot more of the pre-order POB fan sign card sets. I did finish all of the album cards except for Butterfly this year, so every other set is complete as far as album cards. Oh, and I guess Luminous, but Luminous is a whole other beast that I prefer not to think about. But yeah, I did split everything up this year, so every pre-order page now has its own page. So as I get the cards, I can just put them in instead of having to rearrange constantly. I would like to get fillers for the hustle that I'm missing. I think I have the most progress probably on and pobs. I get a lot of those this year. I did finally finish, again, the and photo cards this year. There's some really difficult cards in this set, specifically all of the Chuu cards. I think this was the last one I got. It was one of these two, and I don't remember which one it was, but I think that was like the last album card that I got. I have a lot more of these done. I did finish this set this year, which was exciting. I found Heju, Go-On, and Kimlip all within the span of like a couple weeks, and I was like, well, I guess I just have to go for the rest of the set now. So that is the problem with these pages, is that like if you rearrange even once, the pages are kind of weird after that. I like the wall text binders other than that, but there are downsides. Plus some of these pages get like really weird and fuzzy, which I don't love. I went back and forth on the Meow Cafe 12 pocket binders, but I already have all these, and moving them over just sounds like such a monumental task. Not to mention a not insignificant amount of money. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe the kind of foggy pages will one day get to me. These two Orbit cards, I feel like they shouldn't be as hard as they are. I feel like I see them all pretty regularly. I guess I should make an effort to get them this year. I think in this next year, I will want to focus more on all of these flip back cards, because there are so many of them. I would love to have a start on at least each of the sets, like have one or two for each of the sets. I think that would be nice. The hard ones are going to be the lucky draw sets, but we'll get there one day. And a lot of them look so similar to the album cards. Sometimes it's hard, especially on like Instagram where people don't label them. It's hard to tell which card it actually is that they're selling. So should probably sit down and focus on these one day. These two sets, going to be difficult. As well as these. I feel like Orbit Japan I see pretty regularly on Mercari Japan, but they tend to be weirdly expensive. Okay, this is the final OT12 era binder. I feel like this one, weirdly, I don't have a lot of cards for. I keep seeing these Wonderwall sets and I'm like, they'll be cheaper. I'll find them, and then they sell. It's like, well, yeah, you probably should have bought that set. Oh, I missed this last set here. Superstar cards are going to be hard. The absolutely cursed Luminous era. These are the member covers. I think this one was regular. This is Orbit Japan. Normal version, and then this is the limited version. I am down to 4 on the limited version. I'm missing the group card, which I'm putting in place of Chuu, and then Kimlip, Heejin, which I do think is an improvement over last year. I don't remember exactly how many I had, but I don't think it was this many. I'm also like hesitant to start all these down jumper sets. This is another set, this like Record the Finale photo book. I really just need to buy these cards. I see them pop up. It's not like they're rare, but I just don't take the time to get them. But it would be nice to have this last set complete, you know? And then at the end here with the extra pages that I just have some miscellaneous group cards from Plus Plus. That's the Loona Studio Polaroid. And then there's nothing in the last pages here. We'll figure out something to do with those one day. So that was all of the Loona era photo cards. I also do have a bunch of weirdly sized large inclusion stuff that obviously can't go in the Voltex binder. So I have them in these. This is a Meow Cafe A4 Plus binder, and then just like a bunch of miscellaneous pages, sizes and stuff. I feel like at the beginning I had an order to this, and that's kind of fallen apart as I've gotten more stuff. I really do just need to like separate Loona from everything else that's in this binder to give them more space so I can like rearrange stuff, because as it stands, this binder is really full. So I have these, I think the Up in Line clear cards. I'm still missing Hustle and Chuu. Again, that's another set I should like prioritize getting. I have the On Wave tickets. I will eventually start looking for the other tickets and stuff, because Loona had like a lot of tickets in the early eras. I'm just more focused on photo card size things for right now, unless I see it for just really a stupid good deal. These are the Orbit 2.0 postcards. These are from the 2020 summer package. These are YYYY broadcast era replica postcards. I have no memory of getting these, but I found them in a container after I moved, so they're in the binder now. This is 2021 season's greetings. I also do still have a bunch of large inclusions that I just have yet to find a solution that I'm happy with. So there is more than is in the binders technically, but they're just not in pages yet. I'm slowly figuring out solutions that I'm happy with for stuff, and as I do, they go in the binders. So there very well might be stuff that you are like, oh, why doesn't she have that? I probably do if it's a common thing. It may just not be in the binders. So there's a bunch of 4-pocket items, the midnight stickers. I didn't need to put all 4 and stickers. They're all the same, but I guess I was just killing space. I don't know. As if I have space to kill. Like, space isn't a premium in my binders. Maybe I'll go through and take all those out and just leave one. Some light sticks, some concert, 4 cuts. This is where we get to like miscellaneous stuff, and it's also not organized very well. So I have the Yojin's Orbit 1.0 postcard from the concert. This is from one of the K-Cons. Do I know if it's 2019 or 2022? Nope. This is the Butterfly accordion postcard set, and I also have Chuu's over here. This is a hula hoop postcard, an And pre-order postcard. These are hula hoop pre-order postcards. So this is just like my section of, I only have like 1 or 2 from the set, so they don't get their own section yet. There's Orbit 3.0 postcards, mini posters. I don't know what these are called. And then a bunch of Luminous stuff. These are the CD Japan ones. I do have the other set from Universal Music Japan, but those are like smaller 4-pocket items, so those are in a different binder. Again, layout gets kind of weird after we get to large inclusions and then post Loona stuff. But it's all mostly at least in a binder, you know? These are a bunch of like film strip size stuff. These are from the binder. I just took them out of the pages. They're kind of in a weird order because they're just like single-sided, like front and back. So the members are in kind of a weird order, but I tried to be close enough, you know? And then back here are a bunch of random prints from, I think it's Family Mart in Japan, but basically during like pre-debut era stuff, they had a bunch of things that you could go print out. and that's what these are. They're kind of weird. I don't know if we consider them official or not, but I think they're kind of cool because I like pre-debut stuff, and we didn't get a ton of stuff with pre-debut pictures and such. So I like having them. I think they're kind of neat. So this is the last binder that has OT12 stuff in it. It also has some post-Loona stuff in it, so we'll use this as the transition. Am I possibly forgetting some OT12 era stuff? Maybe. But this is as much as I can remember, so it'll be somewhere in the video if I have it, I guess. So these are Flip That Who's Fan Cafe prints at the front here, and then transitions into those Universal Music Japan Luminous cards I was talking about. I also have the 2020 summer package postcards, the ones that are really poorly photoshopped, those. And then the and Kino is after that. Is it ordered really well? No, but they're all, again, they're all in the binder, so that's good enough for right now. I do also have the new ID pages. So I have a couple sets of IDs for Loona era stuff, so it just, all the members go along like this in a line, and then as we get more of them, we can actually put them in a binder now, which is exciting. Okay, so everything, I think, maybe I'm wrong, but I think everything else in this video is post-Loona stuff, which is kind of crazy, but there's been a lot of it. So post-Loona is a lot less organized than OT12 Loona era stuff because it's all come at us very fast in a really random order, and I've just been doing my best here. So this binder contains obviously the Chuu IDs that you can see on the front, but mostly it is mod house groups that weren't ARTMS. So it's Ade Circle, Heejin, Hustle stuff is in here, and then there's also some Yojin stuff in here. Again, this is a very random binder. Things get a little messy from here, but let's just go through everything and show you what I got. So like I said, these are the Chuu IDs from the, oh, this was this year's 2025 season's greetings. There's not very many post-Loona IDs, if I'm being honest with you. And then we get to Ade Circle's version up. Again, I wish I could remember what I actually had in the binder as of last year. I don't remember how much of this stuff was in here. I think, to my knowledge, I think version up was in here. Oh, and to clarify, if you see an object, it has already been scanned. That's why there's not coverings on the back of any of the stickers. They're already scanned into my app, so that's why they're not covered. You don't need to try and scan them. So here's the full object set for version up. Do you remember when we got good objects? I do. I remember that. These are the clear cards, the misprint clear cards, and then the IDs. Someone did ask in the video where I was sleeving and putting away the IDs in the new pages where these were. These are still here because none of the pages, there's a 5 pocket and a 4 pocket. That doesn't really work for a 3-member group. Plus, like, I think this page is fine. Not great, but it's fine. So I'm just gonna leave these here, but I do have them. These two are both replicas from objects. I know these had physicals. I don't think the Europe tour did. Maybe one day I'll get the real ones. Who knows? And then there's just a bunch of like random POB sets, fan sign cards, fan calls. These are some miscellaneous ones that I have. I do have the set fully, possibly still at my Naokyo address, but we're slowly working our way through version up, very slowly. Then we have a little hustle page. So the plastic candy ones, which are the green barred ones, those are replicas from digital objects. And then thankfully they remembered you can print objects, and Fragilize had actual ones. So we do have some real hustle cards, and then the pre-orders. Next we have Heejin's K. So we have the objects and the clear cards. And then the bookmarks, and then everything else is a POB, fan sign, whatever. These are replicas from like digital only POBs. I'm really not going to go through every single set and like tell you what it is. I don't know, maybe in 5 years time, maybe I'll just post like a 4-hour video where I tell you what every single card is and where it's from. But I'm not going to do that right now. So if you do have questions, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you can just like put a timestamp in the comments and ask me what set is, I'm more than happy to tell you. I know, frighteningly, I do know what most of these are. So I can tell you if you would like to know, but I'm just not going to list them all out. I think that would probably be a really dull video to watch. I don't know, let me know. Would you be interested in that? I think it would be really dull just to be like, now this is the FLNK fan sign card. The next card is from with it. Like, I don't know, I think that'd be really boring. But you guys can let me know if you want it. I'm sure I can at least try to make it engaging. Also, do you remember when we got like good mod house pre-orders? Like, what happened to these? I don't mind square corners. We could do that. What happened to these size cards? Ugh. Mod house just like makes me want to shake my fist angrily sometimes. These are the weird postcards. I don't remember what these are called. Were they postcards in Heejin's album? I don't know. These things. I have them. Oh, these are the really annoying postcard things from Doll, in which the sorting was so bad that I still don't have every single one of them. I am collecting 2 of each of them, but I still don't have 1 copy of each of them. So the goal is to do, these are both the Eden cards. So this is the front and back of the Eden cards, and then I'm doing flipped back and forth because you can see the backs of these are just plain white, which I think is really boring. So my goal was to collect 2 of each so I could basically have the page mirrored. I think, oh, Hustles is done. So like that's eventually what I want the page to look like. These are just really annoying, and I cannot emphasize, so low on my priority list of things to buy that I just never think about actually buying them. But I have some of them. I have Kimlip and Chuddy for this, like, I think these were for the Moonshot tour, but they were for the Japanese leg? I don't know. I have 2 of the member sets. And then here in the back is the Yojin photo cards from her, this is the first thing she did with Hell Alive. I have more of the sets on hand, but we just haven't stored them yet, so I guess I could have waited to post this video once I'd stored everything, but we're just going to be in a perpetual loop of I don't have everything on hand or I don't have everything stored, so you're just going to get the video at the beginning of July, and whatever is in the binder, you know? Okay, since we were talking ARTMS, let's talk some more ARTMS with the mostly full group ARTMS binder. There's some version up things in here as well, just because they fit better in these pages. In an ideal world, I would flip this binder the other way and we'd do it that way, since a lot of the stuff is sideways in this binder because of the 5-member layout. Unfortunately, I do have stuff on the back that you'd never be able to see, so we have to do it like this. Lock your phone screen and turn your device. That's all I got. So again, we do have some version up stuff in here just because things fit better in here. And then I do have stickers from Heejin's album and these standee things as well. I really should just like cut these and then put them in normal photo card size things, because this is obviously not the ideal solution, but I haven't gotten around to it. I do have some physical versions of digital only objects in here. As time has gone, I've been a little more selective of what physical versions I print, but it's just so frustrating to not have some of these officially printed. So these are all replicas. These are from the, I think this was when they released the Carol 3.0. Then some version up tour from Japan. This is season's greeting stuff. Again, we did kind of throw chronology out the window when it came to post Loona, and especially ARTMS, because ARTMS is just all over the place with sizing of stuff. But I am at least glad these posters fit in these pages, because I don't know what I would have done otherwise. These are Valentine's Day from 1 year, the birth replicas, These are fan kit. And then these are actually real objects. These were from the Moonshot tour. Then we get to Doll and the pre-orders for that. These are from the QR album. These were like the accordions and I cut them up. I should probably stagger them like the other way so you can't see all the way through. I don't know. Again, Pobs, pre-orders, fan signs from Doll. Eventually I'll get another set to put here. The OMAs that I still don't have full sets of. I can't believe they did OMAs for Doll and we're like, what if we did one solitary event for them? And then for Club Icarus, they're like, what if we only did events for the OMAs? I guess that means Pobs will be cheaper secondhand. Oh, these are the clear cards that I probably should put backing behind. The stickers, these are from the Moonshot tour. I really wish we would just pick a size with Mod House because I actually don't mind the sizing of these mini postcard, photo card things. What do we call these? I mean, mini postcards? I think that's what they're called, but I don't mind this size. I just wish we'd pick. One of these is real and one of these is a replica and I don't remember which one is which. I think the top one is real. That makes more sense to me. A bunch of Moonshot tour stuff, some various postcard size stuff. These are also replicas from the various tour legs. And then this is the Lunar Theory stuff. Still don't have all of these. They were really hard to trade for, and then they're just not high on my priority of stuff to buy, so. We have the IDs so far, and then Loossemble also gets to make an appearance here because Loossemble really only has this one ID set, and I wasn't going to waste a whole page to put Loossemble in the Loossemble binder, so it's like we have OT12 Loona because there's also even Chuu stuff in here. Stickers, and then here is some large inclusions for Yves and Chuu, because I store them in a smaller, like an American-sized A4 binder, which is smaller than this. They just have to go in here. So we have some Chuu postcards, some of her merch, stickers, stuff from Only Cry in the Rain. Oh, that's that page. And then I have Yves stuff as well in the back here, just her big inclusions and stuff. Something needs to be done about all those stickers, but I haven't gotten there yet. Okay, we were talking Yves and Chuu, so let's do Yves and Chuu. I did recently give them their own binder, so this is just the two of them. For Chuu, it's Howl Through Only Cry in the Rain, and then Yves is Loop and I Did. As you can see by the size of the binder, we will not be fitting more errors in this binder. I think this is the end of this binder. So I will need another Chuu and Yves binder almost immediately after I gave them their own binder. It's fine. So for Howl, I kept album sets together. So I think these two were album sets, and then this was the Ever Music version in the middle. And then everything is just all over the place for Howl. Again, if you'd like specifically like what something is, feel free to leave it in the comments and I will try and tell you. But again, it's just a bunch of random stuff, pre-orders, and then we kind of like merge Season's Greetings here at the end, which I eventually like to change. But again, in due time. I feel like I say that a lot, but my collections are constantly changing, so it's not untrue. This is Strawberry Rush. So Strawberry Rush, I went for themed outfit pages because she had so many outfits and like the colors were just so vibrant from this album. And I'm like really pleased with how it came out. I really like the look of my Strawberry Rush section. This is her second Coty kit. Maybe one day I'll find the first one for not ungodly amounts of money. What do you mean you want $150 for it? You do not. And then lastly for Chuu is my newest section, which is Only Cry in the Rain, which I think also turned out pretty well. Unfortunately, I still don't have all the album cards for Only Cry in the Rain, which means there's going to be a lot of rearranging of this section because I'm still missing a lot of cards in these outfits. Yeah, these page looks look good right now. We'll see what I'm able to do with them when I get more of the album cards. Okay, then we have Yves and her little section here. I've got the fan sign page that I have and then the question. And then we have Loop, which these are mostly album cards and then broadcast replica fan sign card, I think. I don't love how this page looks, but her album cards for Loop were just all over the place that I don't think I'm ever going to come up with like a satisfactory solution to my problem here. So this is just what it looks like. I don't know, maybe we'll rearrange it eventually. And then these are her overseas cards and some event cards. Like obviously all the matching ones are event cards, and then a bunch of the other ones are the overseas album versions, which I'm glad they have figured out by the second album, like how many overseas versions they need to stock. But I'm also very grateful that I ordered enough copies of this version to get all the cards because I can't even imagine trying to buy these now. Then I've got my page of miscellaneous Yves pubs and fansign cards. I'm slowly working on Loop. Again, if you collect Yves, you know it's really difficult to go back and buy a lot of these cards, especially if you're unwilling to spend outrageous prices on them. So these are the ones that I have. This is the kind of incomplete page. I'm just adding them as I get them, but here's another page of Loop cards. And then we get to, I love this section. We just did it in my last drawing photo card section and I flip through it like once every other day. I'm so pleased with how this came out. It looks so good. And I'm so happy that like everyone in the comments also loved this section. So this is my I did section. This is every single card except for like 4 cards. I'm still missing the Paris and London fan sign cards. Are they just stuck in the eternal abyss of a K-Addy mistake? Yes. I have no idea what's going on with those. Hopefully I will get them eventually. But everything else is here and in the binder and it looks really good. So we have all of her album cards and then we start intermixing pobs into them. I don't know how I feel about the suits. I still think I wish we had done just the 2 corners like every other playing card I've ever seen, but it's fine. I think it will depend on like her next album. Like I hope her next album doesn't have this and it was just like a stylistic choice for I did. I think that will be my deciding factor. I should have moved those before filming this video. I'm gonna move one of these stickers down here to like balance this page out. I've been traveling for like the whole week, so this is a really last minute filming of this video. It's gonna be really fun to edit this as I'm filming it on Wednesday night and it needs to go up on Friday. Very excited to do that. And here is the rest of them. So these are all of the Pobs fan sign fan call cards and I did them in really fun spreads that I think ended up turning out really good. I'm so happy with how this turned out. It just looks so good. The backs leave a little to be desired. I guess I could have double-sided them, but unless I get actual pages that are double-sided, I don't love to do that. But I think these spreads just turned out so fun. I do think she had a really good mix of, like, in her fan sign and fan call cards, it was like a really fun mix of just like pretty shots of her and then like cute prop cards and stuff. I think she had a really good mix of stuff. I do hope that we like pay her amount. If you're listening here, this was enough, no more. This was, I'm not gonna say this is a reasonable amount because it's not, but like it was manageable, but like no more than this. This is plenty of cards, plenty of fan signs. We did enough of them. We have one more little mini binder to go, and then 2 more other binders. And obviously, last but not least, my loves. Give them back to me. My Loossemble, my Loobles, give them back to me. I miss them. I want them back. This is kind of like a miscellaneous binder, so there's just like cards that I don't have for all of the members of the groups, and I don't want to make a whole binder page for them in the normal size binder, so they go in here. It's mostly Loossemble stuff because I just have the most miscellaneous Loossemble cards. Lots of one of a kind. There's a lot of one of a kind in here. And then also in here is kind of like group cards, unit cards that just don't really have a place in the big binder because they're 5 pocket pages. So like, what am I gonna do with 2 unit cards on that? So they go in here. I do have this Kimlet Pob randomly from Doll that is also in here. And then a couple loosely real Loona era cards. I think this is just a sticker, and then this one I think is from like a Chinese magazine, and it's like debatably real or not. I don't know. I have it in here. Okay, this is the big enormous Loossemble binder that doesn't even fit on my shelf, but it's the, I think it's the A4 Plus extra wide Meow Cafe binder. Basically you can fit these enormous 15 pocket pages, or the, I think the 12 pocket pages also come in this binder. So this is where most of Loosemble's like album cards, because they came in sets of 3, go really well in this binder, so that's where these go. Again, post Loona is just kind of all over the place. I do have another Loossemble binder that we'll go through, but this is where most of the album cards are. So we have Loossemble, and then it's kind of interspersed with like some pobs. These 2 are pobs, and then this is the Ever Music set. Basically, I tried to match outfits because they had so many pobs in their actual like album version outfits, so it's mostly matched. This is the Dream version. Is this the Dream version? I think. And then the Space version, in which Hyunjin is the only one in the space concept. And then I also just have miscellaneous sets in here that I thought would fit better in the 3 pattern than they would in the 2 pattern. So this is just a bunch of miscellaneous sets. Either they're in the same outfit or the sets just go really well together. Eventually I'll get Go-On and Hyunjin for this. This, I think it's Hello Live, this Hello Live trio set. These are some Clue cards. And then One of a Kind era. All of the album cards. And then Talk to You Later, which I don't have all of them just yet. I'm very close. I'm only missing this Ever Music Go-On card. If you have her, hit me up. Yeah, every other card that I'm missing I have like on the way, or I just haven't stored it yet. So I do have this Heju and these 2 as well. Then I also have in here the postcard sets. Oh, this was a blank page. I was going to put another set of postcards on, but the postcard sets from Talk to You Later are in here as well. And then I have I basically just store all the extra sleeves I have in here. And then kind of random in here is the Moonshot Tour mega things from the like cup sleeve event. I don't know how I'm going to show these, but you're just gonna have to believe me that like there are members on the backs of these, because this binder is too wide for me to put here with the way my tripod is set up. So you're just gonna have to believe me when I say I have all of them. Maybe I will try, because next week will be my full collection flip through. I'll see if I can work out a way to actually do this a better way. And then in the back here is just so much miscellaneous stuff, like Loona era stuff, things. I was basically just trying out these pages and see what fit where. So there's a bunch of weird stuff in here. Not all of it goes together. some banners from the 2 concerts I went to for Loossemble and ARTMS. And yeah, that's everything in this binder. This is just all of the other Loossemble stuff that I kept in pages that I thought looked better as 2-pocket layouts as opposed to the 3. And some stuff like these film strips and stuff that just fit in these pages better. The stickers, standees and stuff. They gave us so much random stuff in the Loossemble album. This was the postcard set that I have that extra page in there for. I just haven't moved it yet. These are the first and only crew kit. A lot of what's left in this binder is merch drops and such. Or like season's greetings, just because it works better in the 2. There are still some one-of-a-kind era cards in here. All of the units I kept in here, because those do work out really well. One day we'll find this Yojin and Vivi. I have all the lyric postcards from One-of-a-Kind. These are the weird standee things that I did cut so they could fit in the binder pages. Is it like an elegant solution? No. But they're here. They're also very low on my priority list, hence why I don't have them all. It's a bunch of Pobs fansign stuff from One-of-a-Kind, because there were roughly 1 million of them. I say, like, without exaggeration. I think it would be crazy to one day have all of the One-of-a-Kind cards. That's going to be a really impressive collection one day. Some of my favorite postcards of all time. I love these postcard sets from One-of-a-Kind. They're so good. They're so good. This is some merch stuff from One-of-a-Kind. There was just so much One-of-a-Kind, honestly. I mean, like, it was a good album, but maybe this was too much. But also at the same time, they don't really exist anymore. So actually bring that back. I would rather have too much of them. Here is the light stick stuff, the tour stuff, which, man, am I glad I went to this tour. Who knew that was gonna be their last. These are the apology postcards because they printed TTYL really badly. The stickers, the envelope, why do I store that? I don't know. And then we get to like Pops and stuff from Talk to You Later. Which, if I had known it was going to be their last era, I would have way more of them, but I don't. So we have some lucky draws and stuff from the end of the era. And then in the back here are the postcards from Yojin's fan call, just because they fit better in these pages. Okay, there's just a couple miscellaneous things that sit on my shelf. And like, I thought about showing you my shelves, but I decided randomly, like 2 days ago, that this was a great time to redo my entire K-pop shelf. So it's just a bunch of albums stacked on top of each other right now because I'm reorganizing it. So it doesn't look good. So you'll get that video at the end of the year again, where I show you my K-pop shelves again. So just a few things that I have on them. I have my signed tour lanyard from when Loona came on their world tour. I did get VV's. This is the one I pulled. So I thought that was really exciting. I was happy to pull. I mean, I'm obviously OT12, but if I had to pick a bias, it would be VV. So it was cool to pull hers. I have the Orbit postcard from the Orbit 1.0 set. You had to be an Orbit 1.0 member at the debut concert to get this set, I think is how it worked. But that sits on my shelf as well as the Hula Hoop group card, because there's just nowhere good to put this in my binder, and I think this PC is so cute. So I keep this displayed on my shelf as well. A few more kind of random things that I didn't show in last year's video, but I've had them this whole time. I just kind of forget about them because I don't have a good solution for them. So this is the Loona season 1 Everline poster book thing. I don't know, I don't see a lot of people have this, so I don't know how many people have actually seen this before, but I think it's like a really weird kind of cool thing that they did. Unfortunately mine did come dented, that's how it came in the box, so screw you Everline, but it is still really cool. This is one of those things I wish I had like a binder storage solution for, but I also fear a binder that is this size. Like this is huge, these are really big. And I have no idea what kind of binder would fit these. So for right now, I just very carefully turn these because they're really easy to rip. And they stay like this as kind of like its own little photo book. And there's a couple unit shots at the end. What might have been OG Odd Eye Circle. And then shot at the end, as well as a group shot here. Okay, and then the last two things I figured I would show, again, I didn't show these last year. I think I just wasn't thinking about it at the time. And also that video is probably way worse than this one is, because I've had 55 videos to learn how to talk and not say every third word. So this is probably a way better video anyway. And now it's more inclusive of more of the Loona stuff that I own. Every year we're just gonna get better and better. It's gonna be great. So these are the two poster sets. I don't know why they randomly did 2 of these and never did them again for anything. It also drives me crazy that literally both of these sets, this is from the Loona the World in Seoul part of the tour, and then this one is from the 2020 summer package from the pop-up store related to it. It drives me absolutely up the wall that both of these sets are not OT12. Because this one, Hostel is missing for. This one, Chuu is missing for. And it drives me insane because these are so beautiful. And like, I would love to actually frame these and hang them on my wall, but neither of them are OT12. And it just drives me crazy. But yeah, I would love to hang these because they're so beautiful. I'm not gonna flip over all of them, but this is how they all look, and then they just have the member's name on the bottom. But like, the set is gorgeous, and I would love to display it. And like, get these all framed. But they're not OT12. I just think it's wild that they only did 2 of these and then managed to do it on the 2 times where they didn't have the full members for either of them. So here's the summer package one. This one actually has a group shot in it. And this was when we actually thought BBC cared because we thought it was so cool that they still included Hostel's name on the back of it, even though she wasn't part of it. Yeah, remember when we thought that? Crazy. These do actually have a member, kind of like a Q&A thing where they did Idale Sonyo, and then I think the point was that they did words that started with each of the syllables. I can't read any of it though. I mean, I can read it, I don't know what any of it says. But I guess I can show you, this one is Heejin's, since these are different. But like, look at how gorgeous this set is. But like, Hostel's not in it, so, you know? But honestly, as much as I love collecting photo cards, and it's way easier to collect photo cards because there's like super readily available storage solutions for them, these are some of my favorite things to actually collect. I love the weird niche stuff, the weird poster book that they did for that Everline thing, these weird poster sets. I love this kind of stuff. It's just way harder to collect and store and figure out what to do with. But yeah, there's everyone's from that side. Okay, that was everything. Well, okay, it's everything I have reasonably stored for my Loona collection. There still is a bunch of weird miscellaneous stuff I have sitting in a box. But until I figure out a solution for that, that's gonna stay in the box and we'll get to it one day. But that is everything for my Loona collection that is stored. So for right now, we'll just call that my entire Loona collection, sans the albums that are on my shelf I have a shelf tour on my channel you can go see if you'd like to see all of my Loona albums. I have basically every single one except for Limited, Love, and Evil. But I have every other Loona album as of the time of filming that video in like December of last year. So yeah, if you want to go see that, that video is on my channel. But this is all of the photo card, weird other nonsense that K-pop companies give us. So thank you so much for watching. I am at this point pretty highly committed to this orbit thing, so stay tuned, come along. As long as the girls are still doing stuff, I will continue to support it. For Chuu and Yves and ARTMS, and for wherever it takes Loossemble, hopefully somewhere doing something, I will continue to be there. So we will continue to have all kinds of photo cards and other nonsense to store. So stay tuned if that's something you're interested in. We have a lot of fun here, I think. I do collect some other groups as well, which you can subscribe and stay tuned for next week's video, which will be the mid-year flip through of everything. The Loona section will obviously be a lot more condensed in that video because I do these more extensive videos. So if you'd like to see more in depth on everyone else that I collect, stay tuned for next week. Thank you so much to the over 500 people who have subscribed since I posted my first video last year. That's kind of crazy to me. It's still wild to me, like week to week when I post a video. And people just like watch it and want to hear me talk about my silly little K-pop collection as I sit here like in my living room. So thank you so much if you've come along so far. If you'd like to stick around, I'm sure we have an equally tumultuous roller coaster of a year upcoming to collect more things for, because as we know, there is never a dull day on Loona Island. So truly, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye everyone.